Tell me about that afternoon and that evening. Madeline said she'd had a great day.
Yeah, no, she'd had a really full day, actually. They'd been to the beach and had I think they called it mini sail. So she'd been on a little boat or a dinghy or something. But my memory of that evening is really vivid. I mean, she was really tired, but she was just cuddled up on my knee, and we read a story, which, as Jerry said, is one of her favourites. And she often liked to put on my engagement ring. So she was sitting there with my, ring on, and we read the story. We also had some treats. We had some crisps and biscuits. And then after they'd done the usual kind of toilet teeth, we went through to the bedroom and read another story, If You're Happy and You Know It. Yeah.
Okay, pausing here again. So this entire recollection, Kate is giving a lot of very specific details about the proceedings of that day. And during that time, she's consistently looking down into the same area that she has been this entire time, which I would attribute to her actual recollection and memory process rather than, like I said, this possible form of deceit. You can also hear a fair bit of unsteadiness in her breathing as she has some shaky breaths in. This could be an indicator of either nerves. It could also be an indicator of grief and sadness. Both of those would kind of make sense contextually in here. But what I'm more interested in during this point is the incredible amount of detail that she recalls. Now, with traumatic events, it seems as though they can function on two different spectrums, so to speak, where either one, during a traumatic or around a traumatic event, some of the details are seared into your mind in crystal clear detail. You can't get them out. And then in other times, it seems as though you can't remember times during traumatic events, and oftentimes it will switch back and forth or depend day to day and event to event. So we're seeing that. I'm not gathering that this is a packing of a narrative. She's not offering what seems to be a bunch of excuses. She's offering details for that day that add to the story or the question that was asked by the interviewer. To me, that seems more authentic.